My name is Lonnie McBride. I am the founder and CEO. I founded the firm January of 2016. It was a combination of passion for our industry, the professional services industry, particularly consulting, and I had a great curiosity about being an entrepreneur. When you couple the curiosity with the passion, in this particular case, we have McBride. So in the early days of McBride, there were a number of different challenges, most extremely complex. I was the only employee. We didn't have employees for quite some time. So what does that mean? I was essentially wearing all the different hats, from providing client service, to building more business, to putting together an HR framework, handling the finances, working with the accountants, etc., to get the business off the ground and to build some momentum. And then as time goes on, those challenges become a lot less. But it was also a great learning experience because it forced me to get into some areas that I really didn't have much depth. I took all that and did the best I can to put together the internal workings that eventually became what you see today at McBride. McBride's core culture and values is a community of professionals who are passionate about professional services, particularly consulting, and operation support. We want to provide them access sooner in their career so that we can challenge them to get to a higher level of expertise in a shorter time frame, thus making a greater impact for both their career and for the firm. In addition to that, the culture really leans heavily on thought leadership. So we look to provide professional insights towards our thought leadership publications, which you can find on our website. We've been producing publications for the last number of years that span from aviation advisory to blockchain. So please take a look at that. That's something within our culture we're very proud of. Balancing short-term goals and long-term visions is a considerable challenge. The firm begins with a vision, and then with that came a long-term strategy. And then within that, a roadmap with milestone and key activities. But while you're on this roadmap, what happens is there are things that come up that aren't expected. That's just natural for a business. You have to react to that. And sometimes those situations don't necessarily align tightly to the roadmap, to the strategy, to the vision. But you have to address those while not deviating too far from the roadmap. And so it's a constant juggling of priorities, but always coming back to the vision and the strategy, and obviously diving it back into the roadmap and focusing heavily on the milestones and the key activities within each milestone. McBride has grown considerably over the years. In the beginning, we were a very small boutique firm that was focused largely on HR shared services consulting. Since then, really over the past 9 years, I should say, we've grown into a multinational firm supporting both the public and private sector. Skills and traits that are successful for leadership varies. Patience, for sure. Being a great listener, that's incredibly important. And being flexible, particularly in this line of work where we're really focused on human capital, right? Client service. So there's so many different dynamics, there's so many different issues, good and bad, that can come up. And you have to be incredibly flexible in how you lead in order to overcome some of the challenges, the issues. And just as importantly, being able to adapt to support the growth. You can't adapt very well if you're not flexible to a certain degree. Evaluating risk and opportunity is a constant challenge for any leader. I don't care what industry you're in. You have to obviously go after opportunities, but those opportunities have to be qualified. For example, different RFPs that come out within our industry. You can't go after every one of them. You'll certainly go after some of them. And the ones you go after traditionally are ones that you've qualified, you've fully vetted, and you feel like your firm is in the best position to go after that. But in the process of that, you have to measure the risk, because when you do go after something like that, you're going to lean on your resources, which takes away from other things that are going on within the firm. You'll see all these opportunities and it can be tempting to pursue all of them. But the more you pursue, the greater the risk is. So you really have to strike a balance between qualified opportunities and the resources you have internally to be able to pursue those opportunities in a successful manner. Leadership habit and philosophy that I've held for a long time is one, being incredibly passionate about whatever you do, professionally and personally. If you're going to dedicate a great deal of time towards something, you need to be passionate towards it. When it comes to McBride, it is my number one passion. I am all in. And as a result of that, I feel like it forces me in a good way to become the best version of myself, or at least challenge myself to become the best version of myself each day when I get up. I always ask myself, how do I become a better leader than I was yesterday? And if you're passionate about what you do, then you're going to ask those type of questions. And the past 9 years of the McBride journey thus far is largely centered around the passion I've had for the creation, the growth, and the future planning of the firm. 5 to 10 years from now, I envision the firm to have a headcount of over 1,000 FTEs and to continue to expand within both the public and private sector, both onshore and offshore, North America to be specific, and within the EU. In addition, continue to expand our strategic partnerships within our ecosystem of teaming partners. We have a great ecosystem of teaming partners. I'd like to turn some of those partnerships into strategic partnerships to go after other things in the marketplace with the combined force.